This episode of AI Success Cast is brought to you by the AI to Human copywriting system. Are you ready to crack the code and discover how to add your unique passion and energy to your AI-generated copy without all those tired, cringy AI words and phrases you see all over the place now? Visit AI2humancopy.com to merge the speed of AI with your authentic human heart and watch your sales soar.
Welcome to AI Success Cast, the quintessential podcast for entrepreneurs, marketers, and tech enthusiasts that shows you how to innovate, inspire, impact, and integrate the transformative power of artificial intelligence into your businesses and professional life. This is where technology meets human ambition. The future of AI becomes an accessible reality, and listeners like you are empowered to rewrite your success story in the age of AI. Be sure to visit our website at aisuccesscast.com, and while you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now get your notepad ready, make yourself comfortable, and prepare to be powerfully prompted toward profit. All right, welcome once again to the AI Success Cast. I'm Andy O'Brien. It's great to have you along, and we're thrilled to have Kevin Davis with us today. He's a dynamic AI educator and business consultant, combining expertise in software development, marketing, and generative AI. With a deep understanding of cutting-edge technology, Kevin empowers individuals and organizations to leverage AI for innovation and success. As a thought leader, he bridges the gap between technical knowledge and real-world application, making AI accessible and actionable. As a consultant, he helps organizations integrate AI solutions into their strategies, driving transformative growth. Kevin's passion for lifelong learning inspires a new generation of innovators and creative problem solvers. And Kevin's the founder of the AI Update newsletter, which I am a loyal subscriber, as well as Brainify AI, which I'm sure we'll hear more about during this episode. So Kevin Davis, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Andy.
I guess the first thing I'd like to know is kind of what was your epiphany? Like, how did you decide, all right, this is something I really have to get in on at the ground floor and with AI, that is, what was it that did it for you? Was there a spark or did it just evolve?
Well, it's kind of like, I actually got started with internet marketing. I got introduced to it a long time ago, back in 2004, 2005. And at that time, Google AdSense had just come out. And that was just kind of it was a huge opportunity. My background originally is in software development. I was able to take the logic that I know for other languages and learn PHP myself and built a page builder system that then brought in content for RSS feeds and built out these pages real fast. And we got that to a stage where we had a client using that system, making $40,000 a month. And they were traveling nurses. So it was like incredible income for them at that time.
Really?
The downside of that is I had an automation job running because at that time it was Blog and Ping. And it sent out like 1,200 pings to Google within a minute. And Google basically delisted our sites. And so this huge opportunity then deflated. We also weren't building a list because that was taken away from our ad clicks, in hindsight, not a good thing to do. So it's kind of like, I call that time period the AdSense gold rush. There was a lot of software solutions, a lot of marketers taking advantage of that, doing a lot of automations for that content sites. And I see that huge opportunity within AI as well. And it's just an incredible, the incredible thing about AI at this point is it's covering all aspects, all industries and stuff. I'm getting treatment down at the Mayo Clinic. Mayo Clinic is partnered with Google for all kinds of AI applications into medical and into that. I had a great conversation with one of my doctors down there because I was telling about my research for the newsletter for AI Update. And even though I'm doing more on the business side of it and the marketing side of it, I still have the articles coming through my feeds on Feedly And I was asking him about where he saw different things like that. And one of the areas that he said is probably the easiest leverage for them is in like radiology and imaging, because the software within AI, it's not as vulnerable to mistakes and misreadings as our eyes, because it's a very, the colors, the grayness intensity and stuff is the grayness intensity, and they can measure that to incredible detail. The other thing that he mentioned, I think he was in South Korea, and how they're using it there is actually in the prescription preparation. So if you have patients that are taking a multitude of prescriptions, those prescriptions can interact with one another. They can also have reactions based on their allergies or their past history or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so as the person preparing a prescription, normally they basically have like 3 or 4 books that they're cross-referencing as they're looking at what their existing prescriptions are and what the new prescriptions are and stuff like that. The AI can combine all that knowledge very quickly and actually create custom formulations for each of the patients much easier than a regular pharmacist.
Wow, amazing! I mean, it's so there's so many applications in so many different industries, and it just feels like when you mentioned the gold rush, I mean, it's true. I mean, I think we're in the middle of it with AI. I mean, it's just so many, gurus jumping on board with their own trainings, and it just seems like everyone is just racing for, I mean, obviously there's a law of diminishing returns with all of this, and it's just hard to keep pace with the advancements, though. I mean, are you finding that?
Yeah, it is. It is very hard. Like in the beginning, everyone was pretty much focused on they were focused on text and image generation, ChatGPT, and then Midjourney and Stable Diffusion are kind of the leaders there. But now the corporate areas have dove in also. So Adobe's got Firefly. They've done some great advancements there. It's being incorporated in, of course, with Microsoft's partnership with OpenAI. There's a lot of new enhancements coming there. Video is one of the most exciting areas for me as a marketer and content creator. We mainly use Opus Plus or Opus Pro, I think it is. But then CapCut has made their stamp on different things. There's a lot of different software solutions there. The other thing that we're seeing is some of the pricing is coming down as the advancements come through. OpenAI has been lowering their costs for their API costs. And we're using automations mainly within Make. I have a client that's using Make and Zapier for their automations for a podcast agency. So we kind of run the operations where the operations are cheaper, or that they have more. Zapier hacks some more connections on some of the things there. But he spent the last, 4 months traveling the world from South America to Mexico and then over to Asia and all through Asia, Malaysia and stuff with his family, homeschooling. And his podcast agency runs like a top. Most of it is automated now using Descript and Banner Bear. We have an automation running directly into Banner Bear to create the social media images and everything for the podcast for his clients.
Not like the old days, that's for sure. I mean, I used to I used to do interviews 20 years ago with a piece of Radio Shack equipment attached to my phone. It was just audio, it wasn't obvious.
Yeah.
And to get transcripts, forget about it. You had to
right.
There was maybe one place that would do it, and it would take like 3 days.
Yeah, not like everybody's integrating transcripts automatically into their system and stuff. And now, you had I think it's Firefly. So like Zoom had Fireflies. That was like a third party thing for doing your notes and your summary of your meetings and stuff. Now Zoom has come out and had their own native integration now for AI to do all that stuff because the price is ridiculously cheap now.
Yeah,
even like the avatar is like HeyGen started off very expensive. It was like $1,000 to create an avatar with HeyGen because they had some of the top of the line technology there, and now they've simplified it and have like 3 levels of the quality of your avatar. And I had Perry Belcher did an event in Vegas a few months ago. I watched it virtually, but they recorded one of the guests there, 2 minutes of audio and her speaking, animated, pausing between each sentences. But then by the end of the session of the presentation that they were doing, they showed the video that was created by HeyGen, and it looks like a live video. It has the animations of her hands as she's talking, very animated. And that's when you start this. I don't know if you've seen it, where I think there's a company in LA now that is doing the news that is completely artificial intelligent avatars.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
It's like Sky News or something like that. I'll have to look it up. Yeah.
Would you say it's safe to say that some of the best things to come out in the AI space has yet to be discovered? Like,
I think definitely so. Yeah. Yeah. It's, well, and OpenAI is kind of like, well, we're not working on GPT-5. And then all of a sudden, oh yeah, I think we've reached AGI. And now it sounds like that GPT-5 is coming out soon. It seems like, as far as what they're dropping, but like, it's crazy. Yeah. With the advancements, the big thing now with the election year is whether or not with the deep fakes, that's a big concern with AI. There's different things going in place now to kind of mark that. Meta's implemented that as well, but now, like this week, I think it was, or over the weekend, Meta dropped their chats within Messenger as well. So now you can actually create images within Messenger. You can chat with it to help you out with a problem, or you can do some generative AI in there as well.
Man, crazy. Now, you have the AI update newsletter, and it's always so robust. And I mean, I look at it every time you send it out, and you have kind of a knack for being able to curate this stuff to a real world level. How do you manage to do that? What's your secret? Because it's so hard to do.
Yeah, and you'll notice I kind of slowed down with the holidays, and I'm starting to get back into it. It is a weekday newsletter, supposed to be a weekday newsletter. But I've had some feedback with 5 days a week. Some people were overwhelmed, and kind of the news is kind of slowed down from what it was last year, in early to mid year last year, because a lot of new technologies, a lot of new announcements were coming out. But I use Feedly mainly as sourcing the sites. I did come up with a new mobile app this weekend I found called, I think it's Ghost Codes or something like that. That is basically kind of like finding the best trending stuff automatically. So they're using AI to find the best trending articles. And then they have AI built into it. So there's an AI writer into it that'll regenerate the article it's Ghostcraft is the mobile app for iPhone. And that's one that I just started testing, but I have automation set up also. So through Feedly, I'll go through anywhere from 600 to 1,000 articles it takes me about an hour and a half to go through that. And then I'm just using hotkeys, reading the headlines and reading the summaries that come up. And then the ones that seem interesting, I'll tag with the L key. So my 3 fingers, the J is to move forward, K is to move back, and the L is to mark it within Feedly. And then I'll go back to the folder that's everything that I've marked as read later. And then I'll choose 2 main articles for the newsletter. And then I'll go out to Twitter, and I have probably about 5 groups that are around AI that I'm looking for what's trending on Twitter as well, and what's good, because usually there's some good tips in there that are how-tos, or it's a featured of maybe a prompt for Midjourney or a challenge for Midjourney images and stuff in there. And then I also check YouTube also. So there's some different people I follow on YouTube, and I'll see what's trending on there, and instructional videos are what I'm looking for on YouTube as well.
Man, I've noticed that X or Twitter or whatever is really a haven for people giving some of the latest tips or here's how to make the most of this or that. And so, yeah, I would agree with you there. So what's been, other than the tools that you've mentioned, what else has kind of been jumping out at you in the AI world that you can, because last time I talked to you, you spoke for the AI Success Club, but that was like several months ago. It was like back in the spring, I think
that was in the spring. I think it was early.
Yeah. So obviously a lot's happened since then. And, but what's kind of really piquing your interest is thinking like, wow, this is going to be huge, or,
Well, with the newsletter stuff, I'm starting to do newsletters for other people as well. So, Damien Zamora from Go Mobile, starting up a newsletter with he's using, we're actually going to run that through Infusionsoft instead of BI, because that's their platform that they're using within their business. Also working on a newsletter with a branding agency that I work with. So my agency is more of a paid media agency and e-commerce consulting.
Right.
But then there's a full service branding, web development, social media agency that's kind of my lead flow on referrals. We're doing one more around branding there. And then the podcast agency that we work with as well, I'm doing a separate one for them. And so I have the system kind of dialed in and the automation for that all set up. So I'm really focusing on that. I'm in Ignite Mastermind with Barry Belcher, who's really focused on newsletters and the publisher model, looking to scale up the amount of newsletters that he has to sell eventually for 8 figures. He's running 19 newsletters now every day with 2 outsourcers.
Man.
And they're developing the software to help with all that. So I have beta access to all the software that they're using to run that operation as well. The podcast agency just brought me back in to completely rework and review all of their automations that's running their business. What we're looking at there is more on the kind of the social media automation. We're also using, I have an automation set up for book writing. I don't think it's probably as robust as Sean Vossler's. I've seen Sean Vossler's make automation, a screenshot of it. It's a very large automation, multi-step automation. But I have mine working now for like a nonfiction book. Let's say I just did one on personal branding. I'm doing it. Basically, I have ChatGPT come up with 12 chapters and 3 sub chapters for each chapter. And then put that into a Google Sheet, and then it runs the automation, and it'll write about 130 pages for a small book for the 5x8 or 6x9 book in about 10 minutes.
And that's just ChatGPT, or do you use a separate?
That's just ChatGPT. So then that's going into a Google Doc. And then from there, then we're doing manual editing and proofreading, and as well as adding in.
Because sometimes I found that it's pulling teeth to get ChatGPT to write any kind of voluminous content.
The trick is creating a very detailed avatar. And so I've done it with probably about 25 copywriters. I have avatars for Gary Halbert and Barry Belcher and Clayton Makepeace and David Ogilvy, all the different copywriters. And then I've done
act as part of the prompt, right?
And not act as, I actually say you are, because basically I make it first person. So I'm telling ChatGPT that you are a famous copywriter, or you are a skilled copywriter skilled at writing sales copy. This is your tone, style, and structure. And then it also adds, depending on the copywriter, also adds some kind of idiosyncrasies. Like Perry Belcher is a very is a very it's more of a comedy type of thing. I had it write a sales email for a chicken swing in Perry style. That was very funny. But I also do that. I have an avatar for my newsletter. My avatar for my newsletter is mainly based on Kara Swisher. I believe she's an editorial writer for, I think, Wired magazine. But I have, like, for the tech writing, I have probably 6 or 8 avatars. And then for the books I've been looking at who's the best author for branding, who's the best author for SEO, or who's the best author for whatever book I'm writing, nonfiction book I'm writing. The podcast agency, a friend of mine, his son is doing nonfiction books. And so I just sent over my make automation for this structure that I just finalized last week over to them to try out with a fiction book. That one, I think you're going to have to get a lot more detail up front to create your scenes and your challenges. But what I suggested there was to use the hero's journey. So the outline structure that you'll get at first for writing that nonfiction book, or that fiction book. Nonfiction is factual. Fiction is not factual. I always get those mixed up.
When you do an avatar like that, I'm sure there's a way to combine the person that you are doing the avatar around, that description, and let's say your own style, your own avatar. Is there a way to kind of merge the two?
And I've done a personal avatar for Damien Zamora from Go Mobile that I work with a lot. So with him, it was more of an email copywriting avatar. So I took like 20 different emails. Once we got it, the ability to feed more information into ChatGPT, had it analyze that, get Damien's. I always have it with the tone, style, and structure. And then from that, we had the email avatar. So his copywriter left, and I took over copywriting through AI. And so I was able to write in the interim and able to write their email copy for their launches and stuff with ChatGPT, with the same voice, and then some stylization. Before she left, she gave me her notes as far as things that she incorporated into it when learning her style. And then we've done that same avatar has worked with sales copy as well. So taking that from an email copywriting to a sales letter, it still worked pretty decent. But then we incorporated the AIDA or the PPP, whatever structure that we were using in there, as well as we fed it the testimonials, we fed it. We did kind of a customer avatar. So I have a customer avatar thing that similar to what Sam Woods is doing. Or have you guys talked to Sam Woods?
Not yet.
You should talk to Sam Woods. Yeah, he's been using AI for sales letter copywriting and email copywriting for like 3 years, I think.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Rich Sagarin has him within his training and stuff. Yeah. And so it talks about what, it gives a regular profile as far as their age and demographics and their family and stuff like that. It'll make up an avatar like that. But it'll also talk about like what keeps them up at night, what are the pain points, what do people outside, like their close friends and stuff, or their close friends and family, what would they say about them and different things like that. So you build this whole avatar for your customer as well. Feed in your copywriter avatar, feed in your product information, feed in your benefits, and then you're able to write a sales letter from that.
Seems like you could, with GPTs now, it seems like you could put an avatar inside of a GPT that you're creating, right?
Right. Yeah, I have Damien's. I have as a GPT. It doesn't work as well as it does with a full prompt.
Okay.
I played around with the GPTs a little bit, but not much, because it was kind of like because you also, before the GPTs came out, you had the custom instructions or whatever in your profile, but then you had to go change them all the time.
Right.
Even with that, it was either not enough space or I just couldn't format it as well as I could within a whole prompt.
Yeah, they don't give you a lot of characters to work with in custom instructions, if I recall. So
yeah.
Okay, so tell me about Brainify. What with that?
So Brainify, it's kind of like it's a suite of tools. It isn't just text-based generation. It also has image generation with Stable Diffusion and DALL-E in it. It has a connection into ChatGPT. And so it didn't get released this week. I was hoping to get it done by today, but it didn't get released yet. But it also has, depending on the level you're at, it'll have ChatGPT 3.5 or 4 in it as well. And then it is also using, I think it's Whisper, which is from OpenAI. And am I on the same mic still here? Let's see. Yep, I am. And then it integrates with 11 Labs also. So have you heard of 11 Labs?
Yeah.
So it won't give any custom voices, but all the already pre-built voices that they have in there, you can put in your text into Brainify and it'll come up with a speaking audio of it. Nice.
Boy, so many applications for that.
Yeah, and it'll do summaries for YouTube videos that's built in. But what I'm doing, are you familiar with AI PRM? Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah. I got it early on.
You got like this massive library of prompts and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of overwhelming. You had to pay with the different levels now to save your own prompts and different things. And so Brainify is, in the long run, is all of my best prompts are going into Brainify. So there's already 3 or 4 copywriter prompts in there. Gary Benzavinga, Perry Belcher, and another one that I can't think of. And then there was the customer avatar prompt is in there. And then it has its own things for AI article writing, YouTube summaries, headlines, Facebook ads, Twitter posts, a lot of different functionalities like that, and they're already incorporated as well.
So we're looking at next week for rollout?
We're halfway through the month. Probably March 1st. Right.
Well, maybe by the time people watch this, it will be available.
Yeah.
So
probably March 1st.
What's the URL going to be for that?
It's brainifyai.com.
Okay. Very good. And just to kind of wrap things up here, Kevin, I was wondering if you have any like crystal ball type predictions, for the coming months, years, with AI in general.
Yeah, my wish is more application within analytics and kind of more of analysis of different data and linking into a data warehouse. That's kind of where my next step is, because data warehousing is getting easier as well than it used to be. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of different building blocks out there that when we tie it into these different AI systems, that it's going to open up a lot of opportunity and trends and different things that we wouldn't normally see. We've done some application of that within ChatGPT once we got the ability to upload files. So I took a order report for a year for one of my clients from Infusionsoft, uploaded the CSV file, and was able to identify the trending products, or the top products by number of orders, and the top products by actual revenue that came in, identifying products identifying a lot of different iterations of that and different ways to look at that. But what I want to do is have it where all that data is going into a data warehouse, and I'm combining analytics from the site along with data from our sales system or email system, different things like that. There's already some solutions out there for split testing and stuff that I haven't taken a look at yet, just because of everything else I'm doing. I'm really excited on that side of it. And then the video side of it is really the other big thing I'm excited about and looking forward to more advancements.
Yeah. And I mean, I could talk to you next week and it could be some totally new thing. So who knows,
Yeah.
Well, Kevin Davis, I really appreciate you joining us for the AI Success Cast. I wish you all the best with everything going on with all this, and I'm going to watch for your next AI Update newsletter and Brainify. I'll be on the lookout for that. So thanks for joining us.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for tuning into AI Success Cast, where you gain the tips, tools, and tactics that prompt you to easily innovate, inspire, impact, and integrate the transformative power of artificial intelligence in your business and professional life. Remember to visit our website at aisuccesscast.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on AI Success Cast.